Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December, moving into early January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Leos as we are smack dab in the middle of the holiday season, moving into a brand new year? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see who might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the lovely Leos in late December into early January. What's happening? We're right on the precipice of a new cycle. Okay, very dreamy. Are some of you tired? Are you getting enough sleep, my friends? This could also be something with dreams. Like, I don't quite feel like this is similar to the Nine of Swords, but it's that very watery, daydreamy, sleepy type of energy that I always pick up with this card. Now, this could be a great thing for spirituality as well. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lovely lady. She's wrapped up in a blanket. It looks like she's doing some sort of yoga pose or meditation. We have like this etheric energy. There's water, there's a rainbow. So yeah, it's kind of like a hybrid Four of Cups, Seven of Cups ish type of energy. Now, in the good sense, this card is one great for any spirituality, going within, meditating, altered states of consciousness, or viewing things from different situations. Highly favored when I see this card. Creativity could be at a surplus, so any sort of creative pursuit, creative endeavor, whether it's like art, writing, poetry, you name it. If I'm doing some self-expression, highly favored. It could even work out with business or thinking outside of the box with current issues you might be going through. But yeah, watch the sleep. If you're feeling a little tapped, if you're feeling a little drained, Spirit might want you to spoil yourself a little bit, a little R&R, because the energy to me feels like it's dreaming, or it needs to. Okay, so for another portion of you, that might just be Spirit saying like, hey, watch your dreams. We're trying to get you some information here, Leo. But we're just going to put that down right there. Maybe some of you are going to be taking up yoga. We'll let her chill. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos. Yeah, and that one, it's great for creativity. Just watch the overthinking. But yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled Big Karmic Situation. Now, that is a very broad stroke of the paintbrush using a title like that, because karma and karmic things can encapsulate a lot. It could represent relationships. It could represent a time of metamorphosis and growth. And the karmic cards were all over the place in the reading last week. So again, for some of you, maybe it's a situation where there's a lesson to be learned, or going through something you were meant to go through. All that could be in play. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the lovely Leos. What's happening in late December, moving into early January, into the brand new year? Yeah, 4 of Swords. So just like that first energy I was picking up, you see, like this one's sleeping, that one's sleeping. Why is everyone sleeping? Okay. We're just going to get them tucked in there. We will not disturb. I'll try not to wake them up. Shh. Why don't you just stay asleep there, pal? All right, let's get a couple more. Let's see what we got. Okay, cool. We got the King of Cups, a.k.a. Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard. He's holding a goblet. He's having a darn good time chilling out right there. Let's get one more and see what we could see. So the etheric energy is just all over the place. Oh, and there you go. There you are. We have the beautiful Knight of Wands right here on the back end. So this is a shift for sure. This is a big vibe shift that we're picking up, especially when we hit the back end of the spread. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements. It gives us a lot of information. areas of life, how energy is moving. It does all seem to be in flux, which could be a good thing, but we start here with air. Now, that's a complementary energy for people with Leo placements. Air is more the logical mind. It's not so fanciful, so to speak. So it's like pragmatic. We're planning, we're thinking. It's like the thought process. Watch the mental load you're taking on, especially when we have air showing up within the reading. It's great for communication and strategy, but the downside to a lot of air energy could be too much in its head, or it could be an energy that's a little cold and detached. Moving into the center, we have water. So if you're not connected to any water signs, that's the emotional realm. So we have a lot of the internal stuff. We have like the heart and mind showing up right here in the front. Creativity. Um, it's not as passionate as the fire, but there is passion, there is love. Cups is the suit of interpersonal connections and relationships as well. The only downside to the water is that it's always moving, right? It's hard to pin it down. It could be a little slippery. So we need to take a look at that. And moving on to the back end, we have your comfort zone, the fire. So fire represents action, the actions we take, the actions other people take. Think of energy levels. That seems to be a theme that's showing up quite a bit. Energy levels, motivation, passion, drive, desire. Usually it's good for that. Hopefully it's not lack thereof. The downside to fire is it could be a little unpredictable, but you as a fire sign, you could channel it, you could work with it. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Four of Swords. Now, as mentioned, we see this individual with the little praying hands. Looks like he's having himself a little nap there. All fours are kind of in place. So when you look at any four in the tarot deck, they're all kind of standing firm. Now, this one does have a lot of good positive attributes to it. It's a great card for rest, recuperation, recovery, repairing things. So whether it's repairing yourself and your well-being or repairing a situation, when I see this Four of Swords, it's like, all right, we're letting this heal, we're letting this mend. So I like the Four of Swords. Praying, meditating, all the spiritually tapped in energy do flow through this, just like we saw with the Oracle card. So I like it. The only big downside to the Four of Swords is that sometimes it could feel stuck. Sometimes it could feel like it's not moving forward. It could represent delays and problems and situations that seem to linger a little bit. So we do want to look at this deeper. I love the creativity behind it. I love the inward energy. It's very useful. Just really make sure you're not burning the candle at both ends, so to speak, that you're not burning yourself out, because that could be a thing. And speaking as a fire sign myself, we can be prone to do that sometimes, where things just get so intense, so intense, so intense that boom, energy levels just fall off a cliff. We'll circle back on that. Now, moving to the middle, we have a very positive card. We got our good pal here, Mr. King of Cups. Now, for some of you, might be connected to a water sign, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If that's not the case, the king, as with all kings in the tarot deck, they represent control of their respective suits. So we already spoke about what the water and the cups mean. The king of cups is usually very balanced emotionally, where it's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't want to say that it's nonchalant and unbothered. To me, it just feels like it's pretty balanced normally. Uh, Great for big expressions of feelings and emotions and love. So for a lot of Leos, you might be feeling some big feelings when this card is here, or somebody is. So the king is usually really nice. It's enjoying itself too. So this could be a very gregarious type of energy where it's like, yeah, I'm just having a good time. So maybe that's advice for some of you, like take a load off, spoil yourself when the King of Cups is here. But the downside to the King of Cups, because every card does have a flip side, is that sometimes he could represent either one, those super intense emotions that we were speaking about, where it's like, oh, this is so intense. I've never felt these feelings before. For another portion of you, it could be dysregulated emotions as well, where it's like, I feel this way, then I feel that way. I feel both ways at the same time. We'll circle back on him. I don't want to turn a positive into a challenge. Now, moving to the back end, we got the Knight of Wands. As mentioned, it's one of your power cards as a Leo. I like this. This card is double the action, because remember I was saying the fire element is all about the actions we or other people take. Knights are action cards. So again, it's like we have a double down. So it's like we have this soft, flowy, inward energy in the front, and then boom, Knight of Wands comes through. Shakes things up in a very big way. Now, if it's not a talk, conversation, or a shift that we've already seen, this is great and for getting attention. I'm not saying that you're trying to, but like when I see the gregarious energy and then I got the Knight of Wands, it's like, hey, I'm partying it up. I'm having a good time. So there is this focus on letting loose and doing things that are fun. Now, the downside to the Knight of Wands He could sometimes do things without thinking them through. And I saw this in one of the fire signs this week where there's like this very spontaneous type of energy, a little risky. So we're going to want to keep a very close eye on him. He can be a little explosive from time to time. But yeah, it might just tell us something that's coming towards you as well when we clarify it. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the lovely Leos, please? In late December, early January. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Four of Swords. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Four of Swords. Why is it in the mix? Okay. This is a very peculiar, unique type of energy. So we have the Empress in reverse underneath the Four of Swords. Usually both of these energies are like very well grounded. Uh, really watch out for like the stuck feeling, the cabin fever feeling, like something's not progressing. Like it feels very sticky to me for some reason. I don't know why that's coming through. But yeah, the Four of Swords, Empress in reverse, it's like, all right, I'm here, I'm doing this, this is what the situation is, but I don't really like it, or why is it not moving? So there could be things about like your patience in this time, whether something's testing your patience, could be all of that. Usually I see her, I think of blessings and abundance, cup runneth over, very nurturing, loving, and caring. So her showing up in reverse could be very stuck in its ways, especially underneath the Four Swords. So it could be a situation, it could be an emotion, it could be a whole variety of different things. But Four Swords with the Empress, it's like, why isn't this going anywhere? Like there's something where it's like, it's still here, it's not progressing, what's going on? So you might be like looking for signs and signals. I don't want to call it a problem just yet or a situation. We'll look and see. But it is that feeling. Now, for some of you, that could just manifest in boredom. It could manifest as that cabin fevery type of feeling where I'm feeling restless. That's how this is to me. So just watch out for that. We're going to keep moving forward. And yeah, as far as zodiac signs, Empress, that's Taurus, Libra, big Venus energy. Let's go in on the King of Cups. For some of you, maybe you just need like an emotional vacation. That could be another thing. Where it's like, I need a break. I need a break. Let's see what the King of Cups says. So let's see what's happening there in the center. What's happening there in the center? Yeah, I mean, this is a good energy. So we have the Three of Cups, like this energy. You see them; they're partying, they're lifting up the cups, and as I mentioned, this is like a very gregarious type of energy, happy-go-lucky, having a good time, very warm and open. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here in the center. Like, of course, this could be a win or a victory of some sort. Now, where some people might get their wires crossed, the Three of Cups, sometimes people look at that and they're like, oh, third party. And yes, like the threes, any three could represent multiple people or groups of people. But when I see the king in the upright, Three of Cups in the upright, it's like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm enjoying myself. So for some Leos, can this represent a win or a victory that's coming your way? Even if you feel like it's not, absolutely. Um, Maybe some of you need to have a little bit of fun. Like that's another thing. Like you might need to shake it up a little bit, enjoy yourself, let loose, pamper yourself, spoil yourself, whatever it might be. Because this energy here on the front end is like a little bored, a little stuck. This one is living it up in the center. So maybe Spirit wants you to shift focus towards good and positive things. It could be a lot of stuff. But this to me looks like a win and feels like a win. And it feels like I'm having a good time. So I like it. But let's see what the Knight of Wands has to say. Because these are kind of opposite. This energy's bored. This energy's feeling a little stuck. This energy's having the time of its life. So hopefully this is a shift in energy for some of you. But let's go in on the Knight of Wands. Because none of it's bad. I don't want to say that. But let's see what the Knight has. Why is the Knight of Wands here for the lovely Leos? Okay. Okay. And then this energy is just like shaking it up out of the blue. So we have the moon in the upright underneath this Knight of Wands. Now, for some of you, This could manifest in a lot of different ways, especially since this is a Leo reading and you are a fire sign. I'm just going to go through a list and tell you which one I feel the most. Now, for some of you, this alignment can represent in confusion, a little bit of confusion, what next type of energy, a little bit of mystery. So for some of you, you might be looking towards the future or trying to figure something out. I kind of feel like a detective here on the back end. For another portion of you, this could be an energy that shakes things up very suddenly, where it's like a sudden change or a surprising change in behavior, in energy. So watch out for that, whether it's within you or somebody else. It's like, oh, all right, that changed real quick. So that's very peculiar how it's showing up. Now, the moon is Pisces energy. Some people also give it to Cancer. Very subtle, very soft, and normally. But paired with this Knight of Wands, either it's changing something suddenly, surprisingly, unexpectedly. And this can also be a conversation because, as I've been saying, this energy here on the front end feels a little stuck. Not much is really happening. And boom, the energy gets happy. Knight of Wands. If this is a message with the moon, this could absolutely be a talk, conversation, message that pops in out of the blue. And I've been seeing that for all the fire signs, particularly this week. So unexpected, surprising talks, sure. This energy on the back end is a mystery in the way it's moving. This energy seems a little more reactionary too, where it's like, no, I'm not just thinking it through. I'm just going with the flow, which can be a good thing, depending on your situation, of course. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. We have a lot of different things showing up here. I'm not ringing the alarm about anything, so to speak. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the Four of Swords with the Empress in reverse. That felt very sticky to me, a little stuck. So there could be things that that are testing your patience, where it's like, hey, what's going on here? Watch out for boredom, restlessness. That's like a big vibe I could pick up here in the front. But it does shift because this energy feels bored. This one's having the time of its life. We got the King of Cups, Three of Cups combination. That's a win if I've ever seen one. It's happy, it's warm, it's enjoying itself. So for some of you, that could be advice from spirit, like, hey, maybe you need to have a good time. Maybe you need to cut loose, lighten the energy, lighten the mood. I like it. It's a win to me. Moving to the back end, we have the Knight of Wands with the moon in the upright. This could be a lot of things. Now, for a small portion of you, yeah, maybe there's a little confusion. Maybe you feel like you're hunting for facts and information. But if that's not the case, whether it's a surprising or unexpected talk or action, to me, it's like I'm shifting the gears here. I'm changing it up. So watch out for people, their actions and behaviors, because it's like, all right, yeah, that's moving a little bit different. That changed. Like when we go from here to there, the energy is completely night and day. So whether it's situations or people, there's big shifts suddenly too. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the lovely Leos? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get your one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got? What do we got for our good friends? Hermit. The Hermit, it's just like this energy here up in the front. Now, maybe some of you are in Hermit mode. That could be very possible for the time being. But that energy shifting out. If you're connected to a Virgo, that could be it with this card. But usually when I see the Hermit, it's very private, retracted, pulled back. Now, the good thing about this card is it's very wise. It's very spiritual. It's going within. So whether it's you or somebody else, it's like I'm seeking my own inner voice. We had this in front. But at the same time, it's very quiet. It's very mysterious. It could be a little secretive sometimes as well. Now, if you're in hermit mode and you're recovering or regaining your energy, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the downside to the hermit, sometimes it could represent loneliness and longing. So for some Leos, there could be someone or something that you're missing right now. So we're just going to let the hermit chill right there. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.